President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. expressed optimism that the Philippine economy could grow at a faster pace of 7% this year, more optimistic than his economic team's projection of at least 6.5%. To tell us more, here's Doris Dumlao Badilla reporting live from Davos, Switzerland. Doris?
Hello from Davos. It's day 3 of the World Economic Forum meeting, and it will likely be among the busiest for President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. It's about 11:14 a.m. here. He will speak at 2 World Economic Forum events today. First, a panel on nutrition security in line with his post as Agriculture Secretary. And this afternoon, he will have a one-on-one session to talk about his investment pitch for the Philippines. And his story is about an economy that will grow by 7% this year, in contrast with a global economy that is widely expected to enter a recession. As what he has started doing in smaller meetings at the sidelines of this event, where movers and shakers discuss the world's most pressing problems, the president is expected to talk about the Maharlika Investment Fund, or the proposal to create a sovereign wealth fund. Finance Secretary Ben Jokno, it's said it's no different from how oil-rich countries use part of their oil exports to invest for the future generations. Compared with the previous Duterte administration, which shut down a number of mining firms due to environmental concerns, the Marcos administration has reopened the doors to mining and is now keen on using part of the government's share of mining revenues to contribute to the Sovereign Wealth Fund and invest in infrastructure that will benefit future generations. Meanwhile, questions continue to be raised about high consumer prices in the Philippines, which is at a 14-year high at 8.1% as of December last year. We looked at the prices of onions in this upscale ski town. You can buy onions for just 166 pesos per kilo, compared with 600 pesos per kilo back home. Meanwhile, investor reception so far has been favorable, with the International Monetary Fund, after the bilateral meeting with the government delegation, describing the Philippines as an exceptionally well-performing country amid turbulence in the world. Back to you, Bay.
Doris, I'm curious because you mentioned that there are questions being raised about the high consumer prices in the country, and that's all while the president is promoting the Philippines as an investment destination. How is this being received by foreign investors and business leaders? And are we seeing this as a possible roadblock in securing investments?
As far as the economic team is concerned, probably not, because the phenomenon of high consumer prices is not unique to the Philippines. Maybe the phenomenon of spiraling prices of onions in particular, and for at times sugar, that's the one that's unique to us. And it's due to a confluence of other factors. But high inflation is also happening in other parts of the world. And it's one of the concerns actually that are being discussed here at the World Economic Forum. And so far during the discussions here, investors are focusing more on the growth story, because it's difficult to find anywhere else in the world where you'll find a 7% growth rate.
And Doris, if I'm not mistaken, Marcos is expected to be there until the 20th. What else is expected in the schedule of the president and his Philippine delegation in Davos?
Yeah, for the rest of the week, tomorrow will be a free day for the president. As you know, he's here with the First Lady and his son, Sandro Marcos. So we're not really sure what he'll do with his free time, but because it's a ski resort, maybe they'll do some skiing perhaps. But on Friday, He's scheduled to meet with the Filipino community here, as is usually the practice when a Philippine president goes on a state visit. He always meets with the Filipino community in that country, and he is also expected to brief the media. That's us. So there are about 15 of us here about what has been accomplished during his visit here.
All right. Thank you so much, Doris. That's Doris Dumlao Abadilla reporting live from Davos, Switzerland.